Hello and welcome to another episode of Demystifying Acting. And today I want to talk about one of the age-old question, am I too old to be an actor? We know a lot of celebrities started when they were 5, 6, 7, 10 years old, or that they started when they were still in their teens or early 20s. But does that mean if you're 25 and older, it's too late to become an actor? And the short answer is no, it's never too late. But what does that mean to start at a later age? Now, personally, my mother is a prime example of starting really late in your life. She started her acting career when she's literally 70 years old. Now, she's done some fun skits and church plays in her life, but she's never worked professionally until 2 years ago. My agent asked me if I had family members who wanted to join me in some commercial auditions. And of course, I pulled my brother in and my sister-in-law and my nieces and also my parents into the auditions. And after those few auditions, my agent asked, does my mom have any interest in continuing and just auditioning on her own? So I asked my mom, and since I was there to guide her and coach her and give her all the skills that she needs to get a stellar audition, she said, sure, why not? Let's give it a shot. And since then, she's booked a Google commercial, a Visit California commercial, a Moon Boots print job, and an Elder Statesman print job in just the span of 2 years of starting her career. That's not bad. But of course, everyone is a little different, and she just happens to be in the right category where currently there's a huge demand for. And she also has a great personality and luckily a son who will give her all the audition coaching in the world as she needs to nail her audition down. So what does that mean for those of us who do not necessarily have a relative in the industry and you're starting later in life? I started when I was in my mid-20s. After getting my bachelor degree in piano performance, I took a year off and meandered around, tried all sorts of different things to make money. And I also decided to apply to grad school in music composition. And in the middle of that process, I was worried I might not get into grad school. So I was considering other career alternatives. I remember this moment so clearly. I woke up one day in April, eyes open, and I thought to myself, I'm in LA. My life is all over the place. Why not give acting a shot? And so that day, I drove myself out to Hollywood, to Samuel French, and bought the agency book. And then I got home, asked my dad to take some photos of me. I printed them out on our black and white printer, and then I folded them up into a regular envelope and sent it off to 50 or so agencies. And somehow, 2 of them called me back, and I became an actor. So age doesn't necessarily bar you from becoming an actor. And of course, the younger you are, the easier it is for you to get an agent. Now, of course, if you have children in your home who wants to become an actor, it's much easier for them to do so since they don't have to worry about paying rent. They don't have to worry about going to work. They just have to deal with the school and then going to auditions and learning the skills to succeed in their auditions. But otherwise, you, the parents, are the ones who have to work really hard to ensure that your child has a successful career. Now, for those of you who might be teenagers right now, some of your parents might be more supportive, while other parents might not be as supportive. And for those of you who are supportive, count your blessings, have them help you, get enrolled into a good acting class, learn the skills you need, get an agent, drive you to auditions as needed, prepare your self-tape studio, and anything else that you need in order for you to succeed. And of course, for those of you who do not have parents who are supportive, then you have to make sure you plan for yourself to have a way to generate your own income so that you can get the training that you need and the setup that you need so that you can become a successful actor. Now, for those of us who are starting later in our lives to become an actor, chances are you will most likely get a commercial agent, and hopefully that commercial agent also does theatrical, and that way they will represent you in across the board categories. Commercials are much more likely to see new people because commercial loves looking at new faces, real people. And commercial casting directors are much more likely to see a lot more people for the same role than a theatrical agent would. So if you're starting later make sure you absolutely have some commercial skills down so that way you can secure yourself a good commercial representation and get yourself going so that your agent will take notice and eventually send you to theatrical auditions. Some agents might sign you across the board, but primarily for the commercials. And if a theatrical audition comes in that happens to fit your type and they don't have enough people of that type, they'll send you into those auditions. And of course, through that, hopefully you'll impress them with your audition skills so that they will believe in you more and submit you to more auditions. And that way, you can also slowly and gradually reach more casting directors and have them see your work. But the most important thing is to ensure that you submit absolutely top-notch, stellar auditions every single time you submit. Make sure you know what you're doing, and if you don't know, be sure you consult someone who does or work with a professional acting audition coach who will guide you through the process. The last thing you want to do is to give it a shot, try it and mess up and submit awful auditions with poor lighting, poor camera framing, or your eye line's incorrect, or you're making rudimentary mistakes that casting knows. Obviously, you are just inexperienced. Acting is a serious business, and there are lots of serious actors in town fighting for the few roles that are around. So if you want to book those roles, you must always provide top-notch quality product to casting. And if you watched my last episode, I talked a lot about treating your acting career as building a business. So make sure you always put your best product forward, and your product is your audition. And so you have to ensure every audition you send to every client, that means every casting director, every agent, every producer, every director gets the highest top-notch product you can possibly provide in order to secure yourself as one of their top choices of actors on an ongoing basis. Now, they may not book you immediately for this project, but that doesn't mean they won't book you for something in the future. The more they see your great work, the more they're going to bring you back. And after that, it's a numbers game. Eventually, you will book something. So, is it too late for you to become an actor if you are in your 20s or 30s or 40s or 50s or 70s? It's never too late for you to start your acting journey. The only thing you have to do is dedication and commitment to high quality performances every single time you audition. And if you do that, you can have a career no matter what age you're starting. Now, one last thing I would like to say for all of you who wants to start your acting journey later in life is that you must make sure you are financially stable in order to do so. Do not start your acting career if you have not figured out your own finances. Do not rely on your acting career in the beginning to pay your bills and everything else, because it will not. You will need that money to reinvest back in your career even after you book. You're going to have to take more classes. You're going to have to get more headshots. You're going to have to go out and network. And if you book something major like a lead role in a feature film or in a TV series, you're going to have to spend a lot of money hiring your whole team of people, from your PR people. You're going to need to invest in your career and build a team around you to keep pushing your career to the next level. So it is vitally important for you to make sure you are financially sound and that you have a good solid income no matter what that is, and that your schedule is flexible so that you can go to auditions and accept any bookings. All right, so thank you for watching another episode of my Demystifying Acting. If you have any topics that you would like me to answer, feel free to write it in the comments. I'll do my best to answer any questions that you may have here in future videos. So break a leg and go book that job.